I've heard a lot of times people have told me in person or in messages that we're the reason that they got into motocross. Our content brought them into the sport, which I take as a big compliment. It means that we're doing something right, in the sense that we're having a good time, we're doing fun things, we are enjoying life to the best of our ability, so that it influences other people to want to follow and follow the same path. I've also got a lot of people who have asked me, either should I get my kids into motocross? It's really dangerous. Like, now that you've done it a while, would you still have done it? Would you still have gotten into it? Or how do I get my parents to let me ride? My parents think it's too dangerous. My parents don't want to see me get hurt. How do I talk my parents into letting me ride and do what I want to do? I'm very careful or hesitant to ever answer that question, because it is very dangerous. There are risks. There's serious lifelong consequences that can come from riding. So that's a question that you have to answer for yourself. I am not going to recommend that to anybody. It's up to you to decide, is it worth the risk? In fact, it's something that you have to revisit and you have to reevaluate throughout your journey. And honestly, when you first start out, there's not too much to worry about. The first few years, your kids are gonna be on a slower bike. They're gonna be just putting around. It's pretty safe. But you know, we're at a position where the kids are faster. I was actually thinking about this the other day, because the kids are riding really well right now. I think they are riding the best they've ever ridden. They're shredding. But we're at the point now, if they want to get to the next level, it's going to take a lot of commitment. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. And do we want to invest that much? Are we able to invest that much? And is it worth the risk? Because the faster they get, the more risk is involved. You know, Luke is doing really well on the 125. He's able to be like mid-pack C class, which is a sketchy class. Like, those kids are really fast, but they're also pretty sketchy. But obviously the goal would be for him to get to the B class, which in my opinion, those kids are so fast, and it feels like to me that a B class rider today is faster than a pro when I was a kid. I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels like it. It looks like it to me. The sport has elevated, and it's gotten so much more dangerous. The bikes are faster. A 250 is way different than a 125, let alone the 125s from 20 years ago. 20, 30 years ago, you know, when I was on a 125, the tires were really small. The bikes have gotten faster, which has allowed them to make more aggressive tires, which chew up the track faster, which make the track more sketchy. And add on top of that, the bikes are going faster, the riders are going faster, and the sport is more dangerous than it's ever been. Those are some of the disadvantages of motocross right now. Some of the advantages of it are that it's awesome. It is so fun. It is fun for me to watch my kids ride, progress, develop their talents, have fun. The sport is awesome because you're around the coolest people, the people that we have met. It is the best community. It is some of the most awesome, the people that you would want to be around. Traveling, I love that. I love that about it, that you have to travel. Going back to tracks that we went to a few years ago, revisiting them, for the kids to go back to the places where they rode when they were younger, when they were less skilled, and just see the progress. It's always fun going back to old tracks. It's such a cool thing to have as part of your childhood. I love the lifestyle. I love the community. I love the pros, following the pros, listening to podcasts. It's like a whole life. Another advantage of motocross, it teaches discipline, it teaches work ethic, and I think goals are important for people, but also really important for kids. And if you could find something that your entire family agrees on, a goal that you guys are gonna work together to strive for and get locked in, I think that could be really good for a family. Best brother ever. And it could force you guys to bond, because you have to work together, you have to be on the same page, and everyone has to be there to contribute. Those are the advantages of motocross. The disadvantages are the amount of time that it takes. If you go to the track and you spend an hour of ride time on the track, it's going to cost you so much time in travel, bike prep, bike cleanup, bike maintenance, earning the money to pay for it. It is a big time commitment. Another disadvantage is the finances of it. If you're doing it on a budget, if you're riding on a budget, it is not fun. And when you're on a budget, you're less effective, you're less competitive. And I'll tell people that if you're on a budget, don't even do it. You're setting yourself up just to be frustrated and to be stressed and to be to everything else in your life to be more difficult. And then of course the other disadvantage is the risk of injury or death. So you have to weigh the advantages, and you love it being part of your life, and you love that your kids get to experience it, and you love the highs, and you love the memories, and you love the progress, with the disadvantages of the money, or specifically of the potential risk of injury or death. Aiden Zingg was killed yesterday at Mammoth, and he was, I don't know his family. I never met his family. Ironically, they sent us free graphics years ago, back when the kids were on YZs. We had Zingg Racing graphics, and that was because of a viewer that worked for them asked the family, can I send these guys graphics? And they said, yeah. I don't know the family, but they were nice enough to send us graphics. And since then, Lillian met Aiden, and she's had nothing but nice things to say about him. He was a really nice kid, and we've been able to meet a lot of the top amateur kids, and sometimes these kids can be punks. They're like rich kids, they're cocky, and then my kids kind of would get picked on or bullied because they were maybe because we had a following without my kids really being as fast as some of the other kids. But Aiden wasn't like that. Aiden was very nice. He was as fast as anyone else. One of the top kids in the nation. He won the super mini class last year. Loretta's was 15 or 16 years old, competitive in the B class, so he was on track to become pro probably in the next year or two. And I can't imagine. That would be so challenging. It would be so devastating. How do you leave the track without your son? How do you go home? What do you do with his things? The last pictures of him on your phone, I can't imagine. His parents, what they're experiencing, and the next couple of days, weeks, and just knowing life won't be the same. But you also can't take something away from your kids that they love and say you can't enjoy your life because I don't want this to happen to me. So it's a conversation that every parent probably has to have. Revisit it. We've had this conversation, in the past years ago when we were at a track and another person passed, and we had that conversation. Then it's a conversation that you need to have as a family, but you also need to have it with your kids individually, because each kid is different. I have 3 kids. They're all very different. I think they look at the sport differently. Lillian doesn't want to do anything other than race and train. She is watching time qualifying of every single race. Pro race, amateur race. She's like, Dad, I want to go to Mammoth. Can we go to Mammoth? I'm like, no, of course we can't go to Mammoth. But every single race, it's always, can I go there? It's a big part of her life. Luke is very similar. He loves everything about the sport. Mason, he just loves riding. We go to Supercross, he doesn't care about meeting Eli Tomac or any of the pros. It doesn't move the needle to him. He'll come in and watch the Supercross main event, but he's not watching qualifying. He does like riding, so I need to evaluate each kid and what the risk tolerance is. And I feel like in the sport, when Aiden passed, it was like, not again. Like, are you kidding me? It feels like it just happened. There was just a kid a few weeks ago that passed. Injuries, Jerry Robin was paralyzed. Our friend Mike was just paralyzed. And then now Aiden died. It feels like it's so common, but I don't know. Does it feel that way because it's social media and everyone's connected and we live in a community like the motocross community? Everyone knows everyone follows everyone. So when something happens, you know every track, you know who the riders are. I want to know, how does it compare to every other activity? Because if you are going to tell your kids, sorry, you're not racing motocross, does that mean you're not going to let them go boating or snowmobiling? Ken Block died in a snowmobile accident. Are you going to tell your kids, sorry, you can't go snowmobiling if they get invited to go? Just a quick Google search, just because, like, you want to make an informed decision. Like, how dangerous are we talking is it compared to other activities that you would do not even thinking about it? How many motorcycle deaths per year in 2021? 142 off-road vehicle riders, male off-road riders, and 23 females. So 200, less than 200. ATV fatalities, about 800 to 900 annually. How many snowmobile deaths per year? Approximately 200 snowmobile fatalities per year. How many jet ski deaths per year? 40 to 50. How many, I don't know, let's say, how many boating, in the United States, recreational boating resulted in 564 deaths in 23 hunting fatality or related deaths per year. 75 to 100 hunting related fatalities annually. 80% are contributed to human error. Okay. It seems comparable to other sports. It just feels more common because you hear about it. Like, okay, so if you're in motocross and you're on social media, you hear about Aiden Zingg dying in real time when it happens in Mammoth. I don't know if you're in the boating community, if a kid died in California in a boating accident, I don't know if you're going to hear about it if you're in the boating community. If you're a mountain biker, if you're in the mountain bike community and you are in it and you do it every week and you follow Instagram accounts, I still don't know if you would hear. I don't think it would be in your feed. I don't know if a kid dies in Mammoth yesterday at 2 o'clock and you get on your phone on Instagram at 4. I don't think it's going to be post after post in your feed, is my guess. So I feel like it is similar to other sports. Not all sports, obviously. Extreme sports is similar to other extreme sports, like skiing. How many ski-related deaths per year? 35 to 40. But I'm guessing, like here in Utah, there's been fatalities locally. Bunker Hill, there was one a few years ago. Mesquite MX, I know of 2 recently. One of them was a parking lot accident with a kid in a car. If you compare, Mesquite MX had a few fatalities with, Brighton Ski Resort. They've had a few fatalities. 4 people died at Knott's Berry Farm. Approximately 4 people die at carnivals. More than a track, but then I guess, they probably get more more visitors. Mountain bike deaths, 1 to 2. That seems low to me. Like, mountain biking is very dangerous. If you are going 30 miles an hour down a trail, the trails are like, there's trees right next to the trails. The trees are not forgiving. And that is what worries me, because if you hit a rock or you, the equivalent of cross-rutting, lose control, go off course, trees are right there. There's no tough blocks. There's no, hey, it's just the tree, and you're in the middle of nowhere. Good luck you're looking at half a day for someone to get to you, versus at a motocross track, at least there's an ambulance, usually on standby. So that's something that I think about, but 1 to 2 seems low. In the US, there are around 1,000 bicycle fatalities, which includes all types of cycling. I'm guessing that probably includes like road biking, which I don't get. Like, I'll let my kids do motocross. We are not doing road biking. That's too dangerous for me. The risk reward there, no, you are definitely gonna get hit by a car eventually. How many lake deaths? Over 4,000 people die annually at a lake. Alcohol or drug use is often related, but okay, what are you gonna do? You're gonna say, kids, sorry, you can't race motocross, but you can go with your friend to the lake where people are going to be drinking and you might get ran over by a speedboat because someone's not paying attention. National parks. Approximately 243 people die annually in U.S. national parks. I'm not trying to convince you one way or another, like do what's best for you, do what you are comfortable with. For me, I want to know if I'm going to make a decision to keep my kids or let them keep riding. I don't force them. I know I make money. Usually I break even. Like there's been a few times that we made, profiting. Usually we're losing money or breaking even, but I know I've made money off of my kids doing a dangerous activity, and I know like YouTube and in-laws think that I'm trying to get rich off of my kids getting hurt. But if they don't want to do this, cool. Awesome. Let's go do something else. Save me money and having to work on bikes. But if they want to do it and this is their thing and this is who they want to be, like this is their life, and if I'm going to be supporting them in that, then I need to make sure that they know the risk and that also like I know the risk involved. And this is like, I want to understand these fatalities that we are seeing all the time on social media. I want to know, am I putting my kids out there like with a death wish, or would it be the same as if they were doing any other action sports? And I don't want to be naive. I don't want to be a naive parent and be like, no motocross, no dirt bike riding, go snowmobiling with your friends, go out to the lake. Your friends are going to Lake Powell this weekend, go have a good time. So I don't know. I mean, do what's best for you. I just want to make sure as we are re-evaluating the commitment level that we want to take going forward, I want to know the potential risk and I want to know the potential reward. But either way, regardless, whatever you guys decide to do, love your family, hug your kids, appreciate them. And kids, like, go easy on your parents. They're doing the best they can. It's an expensive sport, and there's variables. You don't know how expensive it's going to be this month. You don't know, a lot of people, if you're like me, you don't know what your income is going to be every month. So, parents are doing the best that they can. So kids, hug your parents. Parents, hug your kids, because you don't know if or when you're ever going to be going through what Aiden Zing's family's going through right now.
So I had a friend that was in 250B, so I was kind of multitasking. I was watching pro motocross, playing video games, and listening to the Mammoth broadcast, because on the live timing they also have the broadcast that you can just listen to.
It's pretty impressive. I didn't realize you're so talented. You can accomplish so much at once.
My friend was in that moto, and he was in third, and then Aiden was in fourth. I think they were on their fifth lap because it said they had completed 4, and then you just see him drop down the scoreboard. 2 laps later, they red flagged the race, and you could just tell in the announcer's voice something really bad happened, and they were shaking and stuff. They kept saying, trying to get people out of the way for the ambulance to come in. They told the people on the gate for the next moto to come back in 2 hours, and then they'll line back up again. I knew it was pretty bad. I mean, I wasn't there, but just hearing everything going on, just the way the announcers sounded, seemed like something pretty bad had happened.
When did you first meet Aiden?
I think he's been at races I've been at. We never really did any big races, but last year I went to Freestone, and I had a friend there, some friends there that were friends with him, and every time I'd walk by, they'd yell, "It's vlog epicness," and then ask for my autograph, which kind of seemed like a kind of punky thing to do, but I mean, it's pretty funny. They weren't rude about it. She took his friend's phone and was messaging me pretending to be him on his phone. So that was kind of the first interaction I had with him.
He was pretending to be his friend messaging you?
Yeah, he took his phone.
Oh.
So I've had him added on Snapchat since then. The last time I had spoken to him at World Minis, I put on my Snapchat story because my bike was, when we were going back on after practice, somehow it got started in the trailer and it was sitting in there idling for like 30 minutes.
It was an enclosed trailer.
So it was...
Your bike started on the way back.
Yeah.
No one knew.
It was pretty bad. I mean, it didn't blow up or anything, but hot boxed the trailer. And I took a video of my bike and then put it on my Snapchat story and said what happened. And then he replied to it, and he's saying how like that sucks, but he's trying to give me things to do to fix the bike and to go over to make sure it wasn't wrong, which I think was really nice of him. He was pretty nice.
That was nice of him.
But that was the last time I had talked to him. I mean, I've seen him at Mesquite a few times, but we never really go to California or anything.
By the way, it wasn't me that put the tie-down strap on your bike so that the start button got pushed.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So don't blame me.
He's a really good kid, really sweet kid, and this is just a really, really sad thing that happened, and I'm so sorry for him and his family and all of his friends, and just especially the kid that was involved in that accident. I'm sorry. I feel bad for him. From what I heard, it's just a racing incident. Like things like that can happen, but it's just you're lining up on the gate and you don't know like that's the last time you're ever gonna see your friend or your son. He's an up and coming kid and he's young and he's such a sweet kid, and I'm really sorry.
Yeah, the thing that I noticed too is just every single post, like in my feed, everyone who knows Aiden obviously better than we do, there's just nothing but good things to say about him. It seems like he was a really good kid, and his parents did a good job. So our love, our hearts, and our prayers go out to the family.